Right. So today we'll learn about the filters. Filters play a very important role in creating the dashboards. So before we go to the dashboards, let's understand what all different type of filters we can do in Power BI, which will help us in implementing in creating the dynamic dashboards. The first kind of filters what we'll be creating is by filtering this by the data. So I have some data here. When we import the data, we'll get this data. So if you want to create the reports, so I can go here to this data and I can filter it, and then I can create the reports only on the filtered data. So once we get the data here, let's take this. Okay. So first kind of filter is I'll go to this data and I'll try to filter. Let's say I'll take only east and west and say okay. Now I have the data only for east and west. Now if I select this report and if I try to create the reports here, say region, I'll get only east and west. Here, let's take this table and we'll try to format this. Let me just go here. Just filter first. Select all. We'll go to this editor, transform, and then here we'll filter. So go here and we'll take this, and here we filter east and west, and I'll say okay. Now this data will get filtered here, and let's say apply. So this is one way of filtering the data. Now let's go to the Power BI desktop and check. We can see only this east and west. Let's go to this. Go to this desktop. Here I can see only east and west. So suppose if you want to filter the entire project by some data, then I can go to this Power Query editor and do any kind of filters here. That will get applied to my reports here. So now whatever reports I'm creating, I'll get only east and west. Now yes, suppose if you want to enable this, I'll go here, I'll say central and say okay. And if I apply, so now the central also will get applied, and I can see in the desktop. So once it is applied, so I'll get the data here for central as well. So if I want to filter the entire data, then I can go to this Power Query editor, this table, and then I can filter the data, and then I can create reports, and only for that filtered data we'll get the reports here. This is one way of filtering the data. Let me just take all the records here. Let's come back here. We'll apply. This is from Power Query Editor. What if I want to filter the data within this reports itself? Let me take this sales value. Here I have some data for Central, East, South, and West. We try to filter the region in Power Query Editor by selecting any of the regions, and the entire reports was actually filtering by this data, whatever we filter in Power Query Editor. Suppose if you want to filter within the reports itself, then I have here something called as filters, which will help us in filtering the reports in the Power BI desktop. Here we'll have three different type of filters. One is the report filter, which will actually filter only within the reports here, or we can call it as visualization. It says filters on this visualization, that is whatever you have selected here. I click outside, so this will go. If I select this, again I will get enabled and it will say filter on this visual. When I say filter on this visual, you can see whatever columns I have dragged and dropped, so those columns will be available here. Now let's see how we can filter the data here. I have this region. I'll select this. Here I'll get this Central, East, South, West, or whatever. It'll show me how many records are there in this. Let me select this East and West. So I'll get only those two regions. But what is the advantage of this? Let me click outside. Let's create one column chart. And here I will take a region as the column. And then I'll take this sales value. We can see all the four regions are available here. Just increase the font size. Okay. Now if you see, I filtered the data here, West and East, for this visual. And here I also have a similar kind of report where I have the regions, but this is not filtered. That means if you want to filter by the reports or say the visualization, then I can select that visualization and I can filter the reports here. Now let me take profit here. I'll remove the sales and I'll take the profit. If you go and check in the profit, we have some negative numbers as well. Say let's select here. I can see some negative numbers. I don't want these negative numbers to be considered. I want only the positive numbers to be considered. I want to filter this negative numbers here, this one. So what we'll do, we'll go to this visualization, select here, I have this profit. Here I can click on this filters. It'll ask is less than. Let's click here. I'll say is greater than or equal to. I'll mention it as 0. If I say apply, you can see only West and East will come because there are values which are negative in other regions. Suppose if I say less than or equal to 0 and if I say apply filter, so wherever it is negative, so that value I'll get here. This is filter by numbers. Let's say I'll go here, I'll say we'll remove this filters. I'll just clear all this. Now let's take sales instead of profit. Then I'll get the positive number here. I want to get the filters for all the values which are something like above some values. Now suppose if I go here, I have the sales. If I click here, I'll get some values here. Say I want to filter all the values. Say here if you see, I have this 12,344. That is aggregated values. I'll say all the values should be above 25,000. Say greater than or equal to. Here I'll say 25,000. And if I say apply, so I'll get only these three records because the other one that is south is 12,000. Right. Now I understood about the filters which we can use in visualization. This is for the text. I can directly go here and I can select the regions here and I selected here. This is the basic filters what we are doing actually. And here we selected some numbers and we try to filter. This is some basic filters what we are trying to do. Let's see how more filters we can do. You can see this in this visualization. I have this basic filters which will help us in just selecting the text or say the labels here and I'll get the values here. Like suppose if I select all like this. Let's go here and click on this basic filtering. Here if I click, I have this advanced filtering and top N. I'll come to this advanced filtering later. Let's go to this top N. Top N is nothing but I can select the top 10 values, top 5 values or something. If you go here, see top or bottom is there. Here I can specify. But here I have only 4 values. We'll try to take state and we can get more values here. So what we'll do, let's remove this region and I'll take this state. Now I have so many records here. Let's exchange this. I'll just take the sales down. Get the state B on top. Now if I select this, let me remove this region. Now I have the state and sales. Let me go here. If you know about this basic filtering, I can just select these states and I can filter. Now let me go here and I'll say top N. It lasts for top N. And here I'll say some 10. Okay, this is for the text actually. We'll take this as a parameter. I'll just show you. First we'll finish this advanced filtering. Then we'll come to the top 10. Here I'll show you. So here I'm just taking this advanced filtering. Here it says contains, does not contain, some things like that. Let's say we'll say starts with A and say apply filter. All the states which starts with A will be filtering here. We'll come to this top N later. Now suppose if you want to filter anything which starts with yes, just give here and say apply filters. So any states which are starting with this character which are specifying, I can filter it like this. So when I go to this advanced filtering, I'll get these options, that is whether it contains, does not contains, starts with, does not starts with, these kind of things. This is for advanced filtering. Let's see the top N. Go here, we'll go and we'll say sales value is less than or equal to whatever. We'll just select greater than, we'll take this only because here we don't have very much values. Okay, need to remove this. Just remove this because yesterday I just removed few data here, so we are not getting a proper data here. Let's go here. We'll say greater than or equals to, let's make it as some 20,000 and say less than or equal to, let's say 75,000. Now if I say apply, this is like advanced filter. See here, from 20,000 to 75,000, whatever values are there, only these two values are there. Do we have, okay, here we have mentioned something, we'll just clear this, make it as basic filtering, select all, and here we'll try to increase this to 1 lakh and see if we get more records. Okay, we'll just remove this and see what are the data we have here. Okay, so all are actually less than 25,000. We'll do one thing, we'll try to take greater than or equal to 5,000 and less than or equal to 10,000. If I give like this, so all the values within that range will get filtered here. Now let's increase this to 20,000. 20,000, there are so many records, we'll make it 15,000. Apply. I don't have that much. Make it 20. See, it's getting one data got increased. Suppose if I take this from 15,000 to 25,000, so I'll get a different records. So like this, I can filter within this visualization itself. Let's go to this top N and see why it is not taking here. Okay, you have to add a value here. So what we'll do, go here, we'll take this sales and I'll put it here. Just for this top N, I need to get which value I'm taking. Let me clear this. Now I'm having so many records here. Now I've taken this top N. It lasts for on which column I need to filter. I'll say top 10 of this sales value. Now I'll say apply. See, I'll get the top 10 records here. It says top 10 by sales. So this is by visualization what we can filter. Now if you scroll down, here I have something called as add data fields here. That means the filters what we are doing need not be like the fields whatever we have in the visualization. For example, let me remove all these filters. Let's clear all these filters. Just cleared all the filters. Let's make it basic filtering so that we'll have normal filters here. And here also we'll just change this to let be less than. Now when I filter the data, so what will happen is it will filter only the columns what you have taken for the creating the reports. But what if I want to filter this by something? Let's close this. Something which is not there in the visualization. Then let's say I want to filter this by segment. I'll drag this and put it in this add data fields. When I do this, the value is not there in the visualization, but I can filter here. Let's say I'll click on this consumer. You can see that the data is getting filtered. Let's see this. I'll just remove this. See, you can see the data is getting filtered here like this. Home office. So this will happen based on this segment. But the segment is not there in my visualization. So when I'm doing a filtering, it's not that all the fields should be in this visualization, then only I can do filters. I can also take the external filter and I can do it. So I'm taking this consumer. Let's go and I'll take this ship mode. We have, yes, ship mode. I'll just drag it and I'll put one more filter here. I'll select this first class. See, it's getting filtered. like this. So filters can be done by the fields which are there in the visualization. Also, I can filter it by other external fields as well. And in the filters, we have two, different types. That is text, numbers, or dates. Suppose if I'm filtering by say text, then I can have this basic filtering, advanced filtering, and top N. When I say basic filtering, I can just go here and select this by using this checkbox. If I say advanced filtering, then I can specify whether it contains, does not contain, and things like that. And then I can use this top N. When I use this top N, then I should use a, another field, that is a value field. Based on that, I can filter the top N values. But when I'm taking this number, say for example, if I go here, have the sales. If I'm filtering this by number, then it will be like less than, equal to, greater than, whatever. If you want to have a range, then I can use two different cells here like this. Right. This is for visualization, different options what we have. Let's go to another page. We'll try to create few say reports here. Let me take this column. I'll just copy this only so that we don't have to format this to increase the font size. Just keep it here. Let me copy this and I'll paste it. I'll take one more chart and make it as pie chart, but this time I'll take it as segment instead of region. Let me remove this region. So this is by segment, this is by region, this is by segment. Now let's take one more report. Let's copy this, paste it. Let's take order date. We'll convert this into line chart. Take this order date, remove this segment, have this sales. Have only 1 month here. Okay, we'll take segment only. Okay, so we have three different charts. Now we saw the filters by visualization. Now what we'll do, we'll see how we can filter on this page. That is filtering on this page. Now whatever filters I'm doing here, this should get applied to the entire page itself. So for that, what I'll do, let me take this subcategory and I'll put it filter on this page. So this one is outside the fields whatever we have here. I can also take any of the fields which are used here. So first we'll do one thing. We'll take one of the fields which I've used here. I'll take region. Let me take this region and I'll put it here. Now if I select the central, the entire reports whatever is there, that will get filtered by central. Let's go here and select this east and see, like this. This is within this filter itself, like this. Let me remove this. I'll take segment. Take on segment. We'll take this subcategory and I'll put it here. Let me select accessories. Appliance is not there. Art, binders. We'll just check for which data it is there. 54. You can see that data is getting. You can see that data is getting changed based on whatever I'm just trying to remove the data like this. That is, all the entire reports are getting changed. The reason is this is a filter which will apply to the entire page. So when I click anywhere, the entire page will get filtered. This is again similar to what we had for each visualization. Same options will be available here also, but the filters will get applied to the entire sheet, say entire page. Let me click on this. Here again, I have this advanced filtering. Let me select this. Here it says contains, does not contain, so whatever. Let me click on this, starts with, and here I'll say yay and say apply filter. So whatever products are there, whatever subcategories are there, which starts with A, that will get filtered. I think there is nothing here. So instead, we'll take this customer name. Let's take on this page. Now let's go to this advanced filtering and I'll say contains A, apply filter. See, now if I say contains or starts with, let's say contains, I'll make it as ARE and say apply filter. So all the data which contains ARE will come here. I think there is nothing like that. And we'll say SA, apply filter. Not there, we'll make it as yes. You have only one consumer here like this. So here again I can use basic filtering or advanced filtering for getting the data here like this. This is throughout the page. Next, let's go here. I'll just remove this. Now I have some data here. Also, I have some data here. I want to filter the data on entire project itself. Let it be how many ever sheets I have. The entire report should get filtered. Then I have this filter on all pages. Let me take this customer itself and I'll put it here. You also have this basic filters and advanced filters. Same options are same. Only thing is where I'm actually placing this filters. Let me select this basic filters and I'll say select all. Few of them I'll remove. Let's go here and check. Here I have some data here. Let me just remove this. You can see that few changes are happening here. It's getting changed. Or in this case, we'll remove this customer name and we'll take this subcategory. Here we'll select all and then we'll try to remove few of them. So here we can see the data is getting changed like this. Now it is getting changed in this page. Similar things will happen here also. You can see that they're getting changed here. So this is how the filters will get changed in entire project itself. So three different things in this pan. One is by visualization, within the page and across the page. So the filters can be done in three different ways by using this pan. That is filters by visualization. That is when I select this, I'll get this. Filters on this visualization. Then filters on this page. And then filters on all pages. So these are three different type of filters what we have. Right. Next type of filters is, let me remove all this. I'll take some more visualization. We just increase this. We'll just reduce this one. I'll copy this and I'll paste it. We'll create one more data, that is, we'll take subcategory. Let me put this subcategory here and remove this region. Click on this. Okay. So we have, let me remove these filters. So we have 4 visualization here. I want to filter this. Now, what we'll do is, here I have one filters, that is slicer. Let me click somewhere outside, and here I have this slicer. I'll take some field here. Let's say I will take ship mode. Let me increase the font size. I'm just trying to increase the font size, or we can see that. 20. Now let me just reduce the height and I'll keep it here. Now let me just click on this first class. You can see the data is getting filtered here like this. Say same day, second class, standard class. The entire sheet here you can see is getting filtered by selecting this. This is another type of filters. This is called a slicer. This will filter the entire report here. Now let me go here. I have one arrow mark. Let me click on this. Here I have this drop down. This will become like a drop down now. I can move it wherever I have the space. Now let me click on this. Let's say second class. So here this two chart doesn't have second class. Let me select this same day or say standard class. Right. So this is how I can filter by using this slicers as well. Okay. Let me just select all. I have to go here. We have to change the format for this. Say multi-select should be on, and we'll say select all. Now if I go here, I have the select all. Right. So I can add one slicer and filter the reports, that is entire reports. This is another way of filtering. Now there is one more way of filtering, that is by clicking on any of these visualization. Say for example, I have this segment consumer, corporate and home office. I'll just click on this orange color here, that is home office. You can see all the reports are getting filtered here. They are getting highlighted here like this. Let me click another Pi RC. So you can see the data is getting highlighted here like this. Right, let me click outside. And now if I click on the central, I can see all the visualization getting highlighted like this. So by each visualization also, I can actually highlight like this, or say filter the records. See, every visualization are getting highlighted like this. This is another way of filtering the data. Then let me click outside somewhere here. I'll get all the visualization like this. Now when I'm selecting the slicer, I can see all the charts are getting filtered. Now I want to avoid this. Assume that I want to filter this data only for these two charts, sales by region, sales by subcategory. It should filter only these two visualizations. It should not filter these two visualizations. In that case, I have to go here and then say edit, go to format and say edit interaction. When I click on this edit interaction, for every visualization, I'll get some buttons like this. Select this. From this visualization, or say from this control, what changes should happen in my other reports? See, here I have this highlight and here I have this none. That is, we are trying to filter or we're trying to say none. Let me click on this none for this chart. Let's select this. For this, I'll have, see, similar kind of buttons here like this for this. So here, just click on this one. Say here, I'll say none. Just select this none. Now let me go and check. See, I'll select first class. All the charts are getting filtered except the pie chart. Assume that I want to remove the filters from this visualization. Select this. Here I'll have, let me just take this down. Select this control and here I'll say none. Now you can see that I can see the line here. Now let me go here and I'll try to select same day. See, only these two charts are getting filtered. These two charts are not getting filtered. So now there is no relationship between these two because I've removed the interactions. We call it as interactions. Interaction means you're trying to interact between these visualizations by selecting another visualization. All right. Now let me select this blue color. You can see all the other visualizations are getting filtered. Now I don't want anything to happen. Suppose if I click on any of this, none of these charts should get filtered. Then what we'll do, we'll go here. Same concept here also will apply. I'll just reduce this for time being. Select this visualization. And here I have this none. Then I have none. And for this chart, let me reduce this. See, I have this none. Now if I click on this one, see, none of them will get filtered. So I can restrict this by giving this none. So what is the use of this interactions? I'll show you. Let's have one more chart here, a simple chart. Let me copy this and I'll paste it here. Let me take one more chart and I'll paste it here. And this time I will take the state. Let me go here, I'll take the state and I'll remove this region. Add this here. You can see there are so many states. Let me click on the central. You can see that I'm getting all the states here, but highlighting only those states which belongs to central. Let me click on west. You can see that they're getting highlighted here. But I don't want highlights. I want to filter the data. Now let's select this visualization. Here in this state chart, I can see filter, highlight, and say none. If I click on this none, whatever I click here, no changes will happen here. If I click on this, say highlight, now if I click on anything, it'll just highlight. Same time, if I click on this filter, now whichever visualization I click, the data will get filtered completely, it will not highlight. But same thing we cannot do here because the segments, when I click here, let's say, see, it should get highlighted because here, if I give filters, then it will not get filtered completely because these are different entity. Within this, I have different, say, segments. And here you can say I have only filters and none. Here I don't have highlights. So this filter and highlight will come for this column or bar chart. So if you go to this line chart also here, I'll get only, if I select this, I'll get this, see, filters and none. So this is how I can actually filter the data. Right. Now let's go and see some more examples. Let me take this category. Let me take this visualization because it's already formatted. Otherwise, again, I have to sit and format. I'll remove this state and I'll take this category. So three different categories. Let me create one more table and I'll put it here. But this time I'll make this as subcategory. So you can see I have this subcategory. Let me click on this technology. See, automatically it is getting filtered. Now if you see this, I have only filter and highlight, that is none. I'll not have highlights because highlights will come for the column charts or bar charts. But here we are trying to filter the table itself. Let me click on this table. You can see that it is like reverse. Means from this I'm trying to find the value here. Now suppose if you want to stop this, that is by mistake someone is selecting here, this is getting filtered. So what I'll do, I'll send none. Now if you click on this, this will not get filtered. So this is how you can filter the data. So there are different ways where you can actually apply, say, I can take these filters and I can just try to apply so that I'll get the dynamic dashboards. So wherever I go, I can just create the visualizations and then keep applying the filters. And suppose if you think that I don't want any of the filters to happen, then I can use this view interactions. And based on that interaction, sorry, select this format and say edit interactions. And then I'll get this none, highlight or filter depending on the visualization. So I can keep that in mind and then I can restrict which all visualizations should be say filtered or not filtered, and then I can filter this. Okay, so these are the filters which we should use for creating the dashboards dynamically.